Hi everybody, my name is Karissa Kingsbury. I do the College and Career Readiness and Aspire Coordination here at Crook County High School. We are going to be talking about the Crook County Foundation scholarships and some of the scholarships that they have from awesome donors in our community. Today I have Brandi Ebner, who is the Executive Director of the Crook County Foundation, and she's going to talk to us a little bit about the scholarships that they offer and some tips and tricks for you guys as seniors who are applying, and also college students, because it's not just for high school students. So Brandi, take it away.
All right, thanks, Karissa. The Crook County Foundation is kind of unique in town because we manage multiple scholarships for donors in the community. So some of the other scholarships you may be applying for are directly funds by that organization. It might be, $1,000. You apply the application, you get awarded that scholarship. For us, we have a couple of different applications that enter you in for a chance to win almost 40 different scholarships in town. So
which is a lot.
It is a lot. Yes, we do about $65,000 a year in awards. So it's great because it singles it down. You have one application automatically applies you out to so many scholarships. It saves you some time. And the reason we do this is we have great community donors who they want to support a student, but they might not want to deal with the whole process that entails of creating an application, making sure to communicate with you, getting it out on a website, then having to collect all the applications and review them. So we take on that whole role for different people in town. And then we are able to analyze all the applications and look at all the students and get them into the best scholarships that fit their path and what they've accomplished so far. So each year we have a couple different scholarship applications that we have available. One thing we really encourage is for you to fill out the OSAC. And I know most students do. But we have some scholarships that are specifically through the OSAC application. And then we have another set of applications that are on our website that will qualify you. One is going to be specifically just for trades. So we have at least 3 scholarships that are for students going into different types of the trades. And that is one application set. Then there's another one called our Common App, and that qualifies you for about 25 different scholarships in our community. So overall, 1 or 2 applications could, get you up to $65,000 different dollars. So
yeah, it's a
cool
lot
program.
of money. Yeah,
it is.
It's a great opportunity. Like there's so many different ones. There's so many that are applicable to many different students and varied GPA requirements. And so a lot of students can find funding, and it's really awesome how these donors support our students in so many great ways. And I always suggest that kids apply for this because it's a common app. So there is quite a few questions, but also it's really nice because it is a common app and it does help you apply for multiple. So not just one. It's not like you're filling out one application for each one. It's one common app, which is nice because then they can help you get sorted into applicable scholarships, which is awesome.
And our questions are not anything probably different than you'd see on other applications. So for every student or every application, we ask for a 500-word essay, and that's typically about what's your career goals, what do you see yourself doing in life, just kind of the basics. And then we ask for a list of your extracurricular activities. And that is where I think a lot of students have an opportunity to shine and need to really keep track of everything they do. Are they in youth groups? Are they involved with their church? Do they volunteer at different places in town? What kind of
volunteering for sports?
Yes, anything they do within the schools. I see my arm keeps disappearing on my background here. So technology. Really fill that list out of all the different activities that you are involved with, because nothing that you think is too little could be the item that puts you over the top. And then we ask for there's scholarships that ask for sports. So we do have ones that are looking for athletes. We have scholarships that are looking for students who, we have one that wants the student that excels in science. We have one that's looking really on how much community service have you done. So each of our scholarships have different criteria, but that one application, you answer all those questions, and then we automatically put you into the categories for each application or each scholarship itself.
Yeah, which is so great. And I mean, if you are in high school here at the high school, obviously, but if you take personal finance or Avid or something like that, you're already doing a lot of that stuff. It's very similar to like the OSAC scholarships where you have to have an activities chart. And if you need information about that, you can come see me in the Future Center. I have like a little formatting that you can kind of fill it out ahead of time and then be able to upload it and create your own document, which is really helpful to be just prepped. And really there's a lot of scholarships that on our scholarship page of the high school that asks for the same thing. So if you have that and you start it now, like you can kind of start thinking about what you did. A lot of kids who did like 4-H have like it tracked, or ROTC, you have it tracked. And just thinking about, sports, how many, hours, like in the years you've done it, have you done? And so it's really not that bad. And 500 words for an essay is really not awful. That's like a page. I mean, it's really not bad. And you're talking about yourself. So easy ways to, talk about who you are, what you want to do and why, and like what you've done. Like, even if you haven't done a lot of like crazy activities for community service, like that's a way for you to think of like, I'm going to go try to volunteer doing this now, like just to have a few things. Or even, do you babysit like your siblings, or again, volunteer in different ways, or, whatever it is you do, you can list some of that, and you can always talk to me and students, and I can help you figure that out too. And it's not just for high school students either. It's also for college students too, right, Brandi?
Right. We have one scholarship that's called the Doors Cut Right, that specifically has earmarked dollars for college students who were former graduates of Crook County High, but also for non-traditional students. So I know actually even one of the staff members of CCHS received it in the past for going back to school. And then we also have a brand new award that I'm really excited about called the Bootstrap Award. And it is a scholarship that will be worth up to $7,500 a year for 2 years. And what you have to do though is have some form of a job while you're going to school. The donor is not concerned with what type of school. So you could be going to a diesel tech program or going to a 4-year university, a doctor. It doesn't matter. All the donor wants is for you to have some form of a job. And then you'll return your W-2s to me, and I will send you a check to match them up to $7,500.
Wow. See, that's awesome. That is an awesome
great
scholarship.
Opportunity, especially for, those kids who are going to have to work a little bit. This doubles your money without doubling your hours. So it's going to be very valuable. The check will be written to the student. Most of our scholarships are actually written directly to the student. So you can use those funds to cover rent, to buy books, to cover extra fees at school. It's nice to have that flexibility. There's a few that we do have to write directly to the school for tuition, but most are dollars in your pocket to be able to utilize however you need to help your career goals.
Awesome. So what would you say, either in the past years that you've seen, like easy mistakes that students have made, or like things you really want to make sure that students know to do, that they should pay a lot of attention to while they're filling out your application?
Yeah, I think number one is fill out every application. So don't just do OSAC, because you do have to do OSAC and our common application. And if you're going into the trades, make sure to fill out the trade application. So it might be 3, but it still qualifies you for up to 40 different awards. So fill them all out. I would say the other thing that our committee really looks at is your letters of recommendation. We ask for 2, and we find a lot of times that I think what might happen is students ask a little late, and so teachers use kind of a form that it's like the same letter for each student, and they just drop in a different student name, sort of, which I understand teachers get busy, but ask early.
Yes.
The other thing would be, don't just have 2 coaches. You've got 2 letters. Find someone in the community, a neighbor that you've helped, or an employer if you've had a job, your pastor at church, your 4-H leader. Try to find one application or one letter of interest from letter of recommendation from the school, and then one from outside of school, because we see a lot of the same exact letters of recommendation from the same teachers for different kids. And if you want to stand out, really show us that someone beyond just a teacher thought highly of you. So ask early, and maybe also give whoever you ask for a letter of recommendation, give them a couple tips about you, so that they can put in that little extra information of, they've known you for a number of years, you're a hardworking student, and they know you volunteer for your neighbors, on the weekends. So put in those little things that make your letters stand out. I would say that the letters of recommendation is where students could really score extra points with our committee.
Yeah, and I think that, if you're doing personal finance, Avid, or even just want to come talk to me, I have a sheet specifically for that, because that is so true. So many students are like, oh yeah, I'm going to get this generic one, and you just turn it into all of them. But then again, like you might have another student at the same school doing the same thing, and that's not going to make you stand out compared to others. So I have a form that you can fill out. It's a letter of recommendation request form. You can also turn in your brag sheet. A lot of students will make a brag sheet, or your activities chart. Like you might know that one of the counselors here, or one of your teachers really well, but then if they need more details, like if they know you well, but they don't know specific details, like they might not know that you did ROTC, but you've done it every year and gone above and beyond and actually contributed this many hours. Like they might not know those specific details. Like they know you did it, but they might not know something that could really set you apart from others. So you really want to make sure you're doing that. And then also, again, giving the time, because teachers have a lot to do. They're, grading a lot. People in the community, they're running businesses, someone you might work for, someone you might know. You need to at least give them probably 2 weeks ahead of time, minimum, or at least a week to be able to give them the opportunity to write that, because it's hard to write a letter of recommendation, especially when you're wanting to put effort into it to like help the student. So you guys want to make sure you do it ahead of time and have a couple options. Like even if you're asking a few people and let them know, hey, I'm going to be needing letters of recommendation. Would you be willing to write one for me? And then they say yes, and then say, okay, I won't need one right now, but I'll let you know. And I'm probably going to need one in the next couple months regarding something specific. And also paying attention to letters of recommendation if they ask for specific things, like highlighting your character or your involvement in the community, various things. Paying attention to that is huge. That's a good point, Brandi.
Yeah, a lot of our donors, because they tell us what they want us to look for on our scholarship committee, and they're really, for the most part, all the donors, regardless of what their GPA requirements are, the type of the degree they want you to go into, or they're looking for, really they want to see hardworking kids who are trying to make a life for themselves, a better life. They want to see somebody who is going to go to school and probably complete school. They're wanting to see a student who puts that extra initiative in to stand out amongst the other students. So the more generic and basic we receive, the harder it's going to be for you to compete against your fellow classmates. So put in that little extra time. Our application, I think it might be one of the later ones. Ours isn't usually due until the beginning of April. So you have 2 months right now, over 2 months to start working on it. And our website, I'm in the process of updating it. So the information is up from last year right now, but I will have by within about a week, by the end of January, I will have this year's application and all the details up for our current scholarships.
Great. And one thing I want to do before we go, I'm going to show you guys a little bit about where their application is, what it looks like. Again, she's going to be updating some information, which a lot of people are still updating. So don't worry, guys, it's normal. So we are going to share my screen, hopefully.
But you can start now. Get those lists going, get the application or the letters recommendation. Even if the application's not live, you could start working on some of those elements.
Exactly. And you kind of get an idea of what they're going to want. So again, like you said, starting the process of getting things together, having an idea of when it's usually due to kind of have that idea. So this again is our scholarship page from the high school. I'm going to show you where that is, and then I'm going to show you their scholarship application. So if you go to the Crook County High School website, hover over counseling, and then it goes to scholarships. Sorry, I don't know if you all can see that. So counseling and then scholarships. And then if you were to look for Crook County Foundation. So right here, obviously it's towards the bottom of our list just because it's still being updated like the other ones that are being updated. There's a big chunk down there. So if you click on to the application here, also it has information. If you have a question for Brandi, you can email her here. And then this is information from last year when you were turning it in. So it might be changed the next time you visit this. But if you were to click on the application, it takes you to their website. This is what she was talking about the Crook County Foundation Common Application. So this is probably where it'll be listed, right, Brandi?
Yes, and it'll say click here to apply. Click
here. So usually right here says click here to apply. And again, it talks a little bit about what she said, the 500-word essay describing yourself, career goals, all that. And then she's going to be updating this list of scholarships. This is from last year's, but as she's updating, you'll see like, okay, this is the name of the scholarship and what they were offering and how much, and then requirements for what they want. So then you can kind of have an idea of the opportunities that you might have while you're applying for what applications are going to be there, what opportunities you have for scholarships. And then Brandi, are you going to be notifying them ahead of time, or are we going to keep with the same way for the senior awards night of notifying them?
We'll keep that same process. The one thing I will try to do is let students know that we've received their application. I know we've had a couple glitches in the past with student email addresses, students sending me things and I'm not getting it, or I email the student a question and they don't get it from me. So when you submit it, give me a couple days, but if I don't send an email back to you saying I've received it, please check in with us.
Also, students, big important piece, do not use your student email. That is a big part because you're not allowed to receive outside email responses. So if you email your information from your student email and then Brandi tries to respond to you, you might have it be blocked. And so we don't want that to happen. So make sure you're using your personal email. If you don't have one, create a Gmail or something that you can use, that you would use for your school, so that you have one location for all these applications, because you don't want to use your school one, because that goes away. When you graduate, all of it's gone. So it doesn't stay. So you can't use it anyways, and we don't want you to have to miss out on that. So that is a good point. And then if you guys have questions, please reach out to me or Brandi. I'll leave our contact info on this for you to be able to reach out to us. And Brandi, any last things that you want to let our students know before we finish this up?
No, just apply. It's really surprising to me. Some of the scholarships have some specific criteria that we really don't get many students who qualify. And we know there are more students in our senior class each year that we could award money to, especially in the trades. If you're a student who is going into welding, construction, plumbing, mechanics, anything in the trades, we have money that needs to be given away. So please apply. The trade application is a simplified application because we don't need as many pieces of information for you. But I just really encourage the students to take the time. Most of this information, like you said, is going to be similar on all the applications. So get it together, copy paste it in, and get that application turned in so you have a chance of accessing $65,000.
Yeah, and if you need help, you're not in this alone. Please reach out, please ask questions. Like, I want to help you. Brandi wants to help you. Why would we let free money go away and not be used? I don't know. We don't want that to happen. So
we've had scholarships that we couldn't award in the last couple of years. That I had a check for $1,000 I didn't have a single student apply for. And it's disappointing because our donors want to help you. They want to help students achieve their career dreams, whatever that might be. And it makes us really sad when we don't have a student who applies and we know there's kids who qualify.
And even if you think that you don't quite meet the criteria, come talk to me, because we can look at that, you guys, and we can talk to Brandi. Sometimes like you think that you don't fit, but you do. Like, you never know. Like, there's so many different opportunities, and we want to make sure you get funding if you need it for college or a trade or whatever it is that you may be doing. We want to make sure you get that. But thank you, Brandi, so much for giving your time and talking to us a little bit about this awesome opportunity for some money for, you know, pursuing a career and educational goals. So we appreciate it, and we'll be talking to you soon. Thanks.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Hey everybody, Karissa Kingsbury here. I am the College and Career Readiness Coordinator and Aspire Coordinator here at Crook County High School. I am accompanied by Samara Rufener. She is the 4-H OSU Extension Program Coordinator, and she's going to talk to us a little bit about the 4-H scholarships that are offered to Crook County students for, you know, all things regarding 4-H. So I'll let you go a little bit more in depth than that about your scholarships.
Cool, thank you. So we actually have quite a few scholarships available for those who are currently participating in 4-H or who have participated in 4-H in the past. And then a few scholarships that relate to anybody who would like to go into the agricultural field. So even if you're not involved in 4-H or FFA, you can still apply for some of these scholarships. So we have 2 different batches of scholarships. Our first batch of scholarships is due at the end of February, early March. And those are actually through the state 4-H program. So those scholarships, you will be required to turn in pages of your record book, and those are for current 4-H members. So it's important to keep your record book updated or get updated, and then you'll be submitting your 4-H resume. And that's all done online, but I would be happy to help you. I will look over them, make sure that your application is all in order and all of that before you submit it online. And then I also serve as a member of the review committee for that. So if you have any questions about the application process or what they're looking for, I'm a pretty good resource for that because I have looked through all of the statewide scholarships. So
that is honestly a great opportunity. So students, please reach out to her if you have questions. If you filled it out and you're like, I want to make sure that I'm not missing anything, it looks the way it needs to, because she would know, because she helps a lot with that. So definitely take advantage of asking questions.
Yes, and then also if you need reference letters or anything for those, feel free to give us a call at the extension office. Our office is closed to the public, but we can still meet with you via appointment or Zoom. So if you need a reference letter, if you need anything like that, feel free to give us a call. The second batch of scholarships is not due until April, so you have a little bit more time to work on those. And all of these are on our website. Karissa, they'll have the link, right?
Yep, I will have these linked on our scholarship page. It's going to be the Crook County High School page, counseling tab, scholarships, and then if you type in the 4-H, it'll pop up. You'll see them. There are going to be 2 separate ones, one for the state and then one for the other ones that she's talking about now.
Perfect. So these will be all on our website. There is a handful of them, so depending on what you're involved in or what your future career might look like, you can kind of pick and choose. These ones are all due in April. So there's one that's due at the beginning of April. The rest of them are just due April 30th. You can turn them all in together. They all come to the extension office, one place. And then there is like a various different committees and things like that. So you might have interviews for some and stuff like that. But a lot of these rely heavily on either essays about your 4-H experience, your ag experience, or also turning in your 4-H resume. So making sure that that's updated through April is a really good idea.
Yeah. What would you say are some of like the most common mistakes you've seen or like that you've helped students with in the past for these applications?
Yeah, so make sure that if you have the opportunity to have someone look at your full application before you submit it, that you do that. So even if it's you're coming into our office and giving me your, here's my packet I'm going to turn in, ask for me to look through it all the way to make sure that you have all of the requirements. We have had some people who have turned in things and maybe they've missed a letter of recommendation or they missed their transcript or they missed something like that. And then that makes you not eligible for that scholarship. So make sure to just get a second set of eyes on there. And then don't be afraid to turn it in a couple of days early so that I do have time to look at it and give it back to you to fix before the deadline.
Yeah, and that's so true because I mean, I even have checked scholarships that have turned into me for other scholarships and students have missed like a signature, which is like, dang, you don't want to get disqualified for just a signature because you're filling out so many, like there's lots and lots of scholarships you're doing that might not just be for this one, might be other ones too. So sometimes it's more easily done than you think, like to just accidentally forget to add one thing. So like having people as a second pair of eyes, like we want to help you here. Samara wants to help you. So these are great opportunities. If you have a question like, hey, I think this might be something great to add into there. What do you think? Like, do you think that'd be beneficial or not really necessary? So these are like the kind of people that you want to talk to find out from them, the people who are choosing and picking and finding out and working with the donors and trying to figure out, who they want to choose. These are the people that you want to ask. So that's great.
Yeah, I would also say that, so on the 26th of January, we're going to be having an information night for anybody who's involved in 4-H and just wants to learn more about the application process and what's available to you. And depending on which school you're going to, things like that. It's on Zoom. Your parents can come. You can come. Check
at the end of this video, I will put some information about where to find that too.
Perfect. That sounds great. So yeah, use that resource. And then also, this is advice that somebody gave me when I was applying for scholarships. You might spend, 3 or 4 hours writing a college scholarship essay, but that's going to be the most money per hour that you ever make. So make sure that you're putting in the time and really doing a good job because you won't ever make money like that again.
No, you won't. And it's like, if you have the opportunity, there's so much money that people want to give to students to help them not have to have debt that you don't need, or like you put in a little extra effort, like you might hate it for a couple hours, but hey, you'll be really feeling accomplished if you were to get that scholarship. And that is a good point. Most money you're making an hour. That's awesome. Yes, I love that. Awesome. Well, so Samara, before we let you go, I don't want to keep you too long, but is there anything else that you think students should be worried about or paying attention to?
Just make sure to read everything super clearly and ask questions. Even if you think you know the answer, just ask questions. Everyone's here to help you and make this a smooth transition. So just ask. There's no silly questions. That's literally why we're paid, is to help answer these questions and help you guys. So please reach out. I will have our contact info at the end of this. So if you have questions for her or me, please reach out. If you have questions about, letters of recommendation, all of that. Again, you have some really great resources, so you want to take advantage of those. And thanks so much, Samara, for joining us. And we appreciate your time that you've taken. Yep. Bye, everybody.